Podcasting from the Chicagoland area, this is Game On with Jackson Stuart, where we discuss men's lifestyle, focusing on sex, fitness, relationships, business, and more. We'll be interviewing the best of the best, the hot shots, and the rising stars in the worlds of modeling, fitness, cooking, and more. Influencers who are discussing keeping it sexy while at the top of their game. I'm your host, Jackson Stuart. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the game. What if you could be a better player for the cost of one more cup of coffee a month? Get access to a growing library of lit erotica, behind-the-scenes action, and player's guides with tips on drinking, cooking, fitness, dating, sex, and life after dark. Low tier rate while offer lasts. Patreon.com, Game On with Jack. Keep it sexy and game on.
This is Dr. Kojo Sarfo, and you're listening to Game On with Jackson Stuart.
Hey, good people, sexy people. We are discussing beta males today. Last week we talked about alpha males, so it makes sense to discuss beta males. Actually, I'm sorry, it was 2 weeks ago. I apologize. Before we get into that, a couple of plugs we definitely want to give out. Check out Cinnamon Babe Music, the beautiful, the talented, the fiery Stormy Maya's new metal, heavy metal, death metal, metal band, however you want to phrase it exactly. And for sure, check out Ariana Gray's jackpotbeauties.com. If you're into slot channels on YouTube, you're into online gambling, or just into watching a beautiful, charming personality having a good time, definitely check her out. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I'm biased. I work there. I learn something every time about the world of slot channels and slot gambling, not slop gambling, slot gambling. And it's a fun time. It's a great group. It's a good time. Want to give some shout outs to people who are very nice always in there, who say hi to me. Real Twinning Slots, T-Town Gambler, Slot Bandits, and of course the normal crew I get to run with, Jay, Deer, Corey, you know who you are. So just some plugs we definitely want to give out to you guys to check out. Also some amazing guests with other projects going on. Check out Agent Crew at Wine Spies. Check out Corey Nathan, who runs an amazing podcast about discussing politics without killing each other. He was a very recent guest, super cool guy. And Billy Mandarino, who will teach you about being in the moment with his work as the Nowist. So definitely check out all these great people. And any of our guests in the last 2 years have been amazing, so check them out. Also coming up for you Game On fans, check out for sure Game On with Jack at Twitter, Jackson Stuart 2, and Game On with Jack on Instagram. Patreon.com/Game On with Jack. We've got players guides, we've got erotic literature, we've got some hot stuff on there. I just joined up with the Man Tripping blog as a contributing writer, so check out my latest entry. I'll put a post up, and I believe the post up is on Twitter. Also, follow me on YouTube. Join the Game On with Jackson Stuart YouTube channel. All the podcasts go there, plus other unique and only found on YouTube videos will start to populate. You can follow Game On with Jack on TikTok, where I've got some short but informational blogs and recipes because your man Jack likes to cook. And coming soon will be the online courses from Game On with Jackson Stuart. Game On with Jack will be on Teachable. The first course will be how to have the best guys' night out you can have, how to level up your experience on going out with the fellas. The world is opening back up. We're beating this COVID thing. We're hanging back out with the crew. Here's how to have the best night ever. And that workshop will be free. So definitely be on the lookout for that. That's going to drop, and additional courses will be coming very quickly, and those will be available for purchase. Handouts, excuse me, lecture notes, audio clip, video clips, etc. Everything, all the things, and definitely don't miss that. I'm very excited about offering that to you guys, and you guys joining up as we work on leveling up men across the globe. And so yeah, excited. With that having been said, we're talking about beta males. And previously we had discussed what is an alpha male. An alpha male tends to be, that guy that, that leads the pack, leads the group. He gives directive. He protects the crew. He makes a decision. He is confident. He is decisive. Yet he is kind. He's strong enough to be gentle. These are all attributes of the alpha male. Now, as the term alpha male comes from the animal kingdom, there's also the beta male. And the beta male has gotten a very negative spin in our society. Beta males have been seen as less than, as milquetoast, as just, these almost, simmering, snickety, malevolent or weak-willed, weak-minded, jealous entities. And I want to change that. There is a positive, in all truthfulness, there is a positive spin on the whole beta male archetype, but I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time, I do not agree with anybody settling for being a beta male, and I'll explain why I feel that way as we talk through the show. So in the worst sense, the beta male is seen as, this pushover, this broken guy, this weak-willed guy, and there's a term I'm going to challenge as being a bad term, the nice guy. And here's why a nice guy is bad. What you're striving for, fellas, is not to be the nice guy. You're striving to be a good man. And here's why. The nice guy is the pushover. The majority of our society sees the nice guy as being an entity that's never taken seriously. And we had a guest some months ago. I'm fighting allergies, so forgive me if you hear me like breathing super deep. We had a guest, and we discussed, the concept of the nice guy and the good guy. The nice guy is a pushover. The nice guy is somebody just ran over and nobody takes into consideration. It is, the Superman and the Clark Kent phenomenon. Clark Kent is a nice guy, but Clark Kent never gets shit. He never gets Lois Lane. I mean, later on she finds like Superman and blah, blah, blah. But Clark Kent is, people take his job assignments, and people don't take him seriously to the point that he can just easily disappear into, the closet or the phone booth or whatever and change into Superman. Superman is not a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's a good man. Superman, saves kittens and cities and fights monsters and supervillains, but nobody messes with Superman. Superman will fuck you up. He's got super strength. He's got heat vision. He's got, ice breath. He can fly. He's invulnerable. That's what you want. Now, Clark Kent is the beta male. Superman is the alpha male. Beta males have no drive to be the alpha male. Like, an alpha male is like working on being the alpha male. They're in the group. They take leadership positions. They move things forward. Beta males look at that and go, I have no intention or desire to be that. You find alpha males in social settings, like, a bunch of guys hanging out, organized sports. You find them in work events, team leaders, supervisors, etc. You find betas in the opposite, because betas loathe the idea of being, in a group, being in the spotlight. They're not drawn to it. The best definition of a beta male has little interest in group gatherings, and if they do, they're quieter and less present than the alpha. The alphas can hold court. They can sit down and talk and tell a story, and everybody gives them their ear and their attention. Beta males don't desire that. Beta males are like Clark Kent, quieter, can blend into the background, but tragically people don't see them. And some beta males are comfortable with that. But I don't think you are, or else you would not be listening to this episode. Last episode I said, 2 episodes ago, when I said that, we need alphas we need to be alphas when it's time to take charge or make a decision. Do we ever need to be a beta? In my opinion, never. Never be a beta male. Never be a secondary entity that people do not see or do not feel your presence. Now, what I mean by that is do not believe that every situation you have to go in, swinging and stomping your foot and making demands. You can have a pack of alpha males, but only one alpha male can lead at the time. So I've got friends, and I've got right now I'm thinking of a group of guys, and we're all alphas. We're decisive. We're protective. We make decisions. We don't let ourselves get pushed over. We don't, cave into pressure. We have goals. We have dreams, and we make steps towards achieving them. Now, if we are all debating where we want to go out, we throw our ideas like, in the literal, I'm sorry, not in the literal, but in the figurative idea pot. We talk about it. We give, pros and cons, and we make a group decision. Now, maybe it's, somebody really has their heart set on a specific place. We let that person make the decision. All right, cool, man. It's important to you. You want to go celebrate? It's your night. Where do you want to go? That is an alpha acquiescing to another alpha. And not in a way like, I put my tail between my legs and bow down, but that's just me saying, hey, tonight you got your heart set on something that is not earth-shattering to me. Let's follow your lead. Excuse me. That's being a strong enough alpha to follow another alpha's point of direction. Or maybe you're doing a road trip with the fellas, and it's a pack of alphas in the car. And one guy goes, hey, I've been to this town before. I know the quickest route. The other alphas go, you know what you're doing. You've been here before. We have not. Take the lead. That is to me the way that, alphas can be beta males. But I don't consider those beta males. Those are just alphas who are wise enough to know that you don't have to take charge in every situation. So, fellas, do not be a beta male. You can be an introvert and still be an alpha male. You can be, they consider beta males to be more cerebral, less concerned about physical attributes or sports that's fine. I mean, you should always take care of your physical health because, without your body, you don't have shit. But that doesn't mean that you're competing. That doesn't mean that you have to go out and be like, all right, today I'm going to try and squat 800 pounds. Like maybe you just stay healthy enough to stay healthy, but you're not trying to level up your body to a certain level that you're not comfortable with. That's fine. Alphas push their bodies. That's just what alphas do. A beta, don't be a beta, but you can still pursue things and be an alpha, but not be this, bombastic, bravado, braggadocio, all these other B words. You don't have to be that guy, but you can still be an alpha. I like to call those quiet alphas. Be a quiet alpha in a situation where there's multiples and one person has more on the spot knowledge about the situation or has more invested in how the event is about to happen. You can be, a fallback alpha. You're an alpha who falls back. All right, take the lead. I'm going to fall back on this one, but never be a beta. No. Characteristics of beta males, less physical, like I stated previously, less confrontational. Beta males don't want to have to lock horns with anybody. This goes back to being a pushover. Do not be a pushover. You don't have to get in everybody's face about every single thing. A friend of mine once told me, one of the keys to life is finding out what situations or what hills you need to die on. Like, where do you plant your flag, draw your line in the sand and go no further, this is it. It ain't every hill, but you got to have hills that you're like, nope, I'm not giving in on this one. That having been said, beta males don't have those hills. They just roll over on everything. Even, the good, nice guy concept of a beta male, they don't make waves. Don't do that. Sometimes you got to make a damn wave, but you can be a quiet alpha. Betas are considered more cerebral and more comfortable alone. There's nothing wrong with being alone. Actually, that's a strength. But it's a strength that alphas share. Alphas can be by themselves and they're cool with it. Alphas can go to lunch by themselves. Alphas can go to movies by themselves. But going like the matinee, like don't go at night in a raincoat because you look like a creeper or a trench coat. But alphas can, they're not bothered by what people could be perceiving their situation to be. Oh, look at that guy sitting alone, for dinner, or that guy sitting alone for lunch. Alpha's like, fuck it. I'm hungry. I was alone. I'm shopping or I'm on the road. I'm going to stop and grab something to eat. I don't give a fuck if people think this or that or other about me. There's a strength in being able to be alone. But betas are alone because sometimes they're just terrified of being with other people. And I think that's a bad thing. The ability to handle solitude is good as long as it's not a crutch. So a crutch is bad. Now, even though I am not a fan of the beta male idea, betas are not always the shy introverts or lazy or unambitious. They're not these scrawny nerds that can't talk to women or, get guys that kick sand on them at the beach. That is that old cartoon image, right? They're not incels. They're not these involuntarily celibate guys who are angry at the world, and they're not weak and broken males, but beta males are viewed as less than. So even if you feel like you're not less than, but you identify as being a beta male, you are less than, because nobody's going to take you seriously. Clark Kent, nobody fucking takes Clark Kent seriously. And I'm passionate about that because there's a lot of good guys who are like, oh, I don't need to lead. And I let so-and-so take charge. I'm fine just staying in the background. But they're good guys with great ideas. And that's the thing about being a beta male. All the great qualities that you have, all the amazing ideas that you're bringing to the table, nobody's ever going to hear because you won't open your mouth. Or they think you're such a beta that when you talk, nobody's going to take you seriously. Be a quiet alpha. Be that person that just by their presence and who they are, that when they do talk, people go, oh shit, so-and-so just started talking. And they listen. That's who you want to be. Be a quiet alpha. Be a fallback alpha. Don't be a beta male. Now you might be going, oh shit, Jackson, I'm a beta male. What do I do about it? Well, first of all, it's okay. I mean, don't beat yourself up if you feel like you're a beta male, but acknowledge that you're a beta male and you don't want to be one anymore. Let's level you guys up because the show's about leveling up, right? So let's level you up to being an alpha. Now, before I do that, some people are going to say, well, there are pros to being a beta male. Sure there are. A couple pros. One, I don't view all these as pros, but some people do. Beta males have a low risk of confrontation or accusation of misdeeds. Like alphas get out there and alphas will say this and do that and tell this person this. And sometimes people are like, well, you know what? Jack was a dick. Jack took over. Jack jumped over the candlestick. I just realized it was a nursery rhyme. You're going to catch heat when you're an alpha because you're out there. Betas, you have a low risk of that because you don't go out there. You're like back in the cave and you're not present. Betas have less pressure to perform and succeed. Betas have more room to explore their hobbies and their goals because they have more time. I don't really view those as pros, but I did some research, talked to some people, and that's what they gave me. Cons, well, literally everything I just said. Low risk of confrontation means that you're just not trying. It means you're not out there. less pressure to perform and succeed. Shit, pressure to perform and succeed is good if it's internal. External pressure can suck and can break people, but if you want that drive inside to get up and slay your day every time you step into the game, and more room to explore your goals and things that that you want to, and hobbies. If you control your day, you can make time to do the things you want to do. So everything that's a pro, I'm sorry, to me is really a con. Now, let's get you out of being a beta, because like I said, I don't like the idea of beta males. I'm not saying I don't like beta males. I just don't like the idea because I feel like it puts you in a box that is not healthy. The previous episode, I listed some things, to do to be an alpha male. First and foremost, it's practice. Some people are born just with certain types of personalities. You can talk genetics or, nature versus nurture, etc. But a lot of good alpha qualities. And I'm not talking about guys who are bullies or dicks or walk around, they're douchebags with their chest all puffed out and giving orders. I'm talking about good alphas. Alphas that protect the pack. And let's not forget, that's the key job of an alpha. They lead, they protect, they guide. So practice these steps. Be confident. If you're a beta male and you want to get out of that shit, be confident. Try 1 or 2 things a day that gets you out of your comfort zone. State your desires and stick to them. Learn how to step outside that comfort zone. Find an alpha who's good at what they do and mimic them for a while. Now, be confident. If somebody asks you, let's say you're in a meeting at work and somebody asks a question and you have the answer. Don't sit there and be quiet. Don't sit on the answer because you're thinking, well, nobody wants to hear this because maybe they think I don't know what I'm talking over. Screw that shit. Be confident. Open up your mouth and say your idea. Who cares if it's stupid? Be confident in it. Somebody says, hey, let's all go to lunch, and you really, really want Chinese food. Speak up and say, I'd like to get Chinese food today. Be confident. Practice confidence once or twice a day until next thing you know, you're doing it 5 times a day. So eventually you just become a confident person. And one of the keys of confidence is remembering your previous successes. You build on that. You build on those successes so that you remind yourself, hey, I can do shit. I can pull stuff off. State your desires and stick to them. Don't anybody roll over on your ideas just because it's your idea. Like, hey, there's a parking spot opening at work, and you're like, well, I want to put in for it. And people are like, no, you're not putting in for it because I'm going to put in for it. Screw that shit. It's your desire. Stick to it. You might not get it. Maybe you're going to get it later. But stand up, chest out, be confident, state your desires. Get out that comfort zone. Get out of it. Go to lunch by yourself one day. Don't sit at the bar. I tell you what, if it's breaking you to go have lunch by yourself, start by sitting at the bar. A lot of people sit at a bar and eat by themselves. You don't have to have a table surrounded by a bunch of people eating together. Start at the bar, then work your way over to a bar table, which are smaller tables where, usually single people sit and eat. And then keep doing it until you don't give a damn. Go to a movie by yourself. Get that matinee. It's usually cheaper. Sit down, get your popcorn, enjoy it. And you're going to see there's no boogeyman. There's no group of people outside mocking you, laughing at you. All that shit's in your head. I understand it. I'm not belittling it, but I'm telling you that you're bigger than that. Pick up a hobby that you're not good at. Nothing makes you a stronger alpha than challenging yourself and rising to the occasion of new things. Whether it be pick up an instrument or learning how to dance or whatever it is, something that you're not normally comfortable with. Public speaking, pick up a hobby, challenge it, conquer that shit. And lastly, find a good alpha and mimic. Now, that does not mean that you're going to copy this person's mannerisms and take their phrases. And God, I knew a guy that would just start to copy things from people who he thought were cool. It was so annoying. We wanted to beat his ass every day. But watch how they protect, watch how they lead, watch how they're strong enough to be gentle, watch how they listen to the rest of the pack or the group, and Mimic might not be the right word, but learn and practice as they do. And eventually it becomes what you do. It's no different than, sports. First time you learn how to throw a punch right, you have a boxing coach, or the first time you learn how to hit a ball right, you have a batting coach or somebody teaching how to shoot a free throw, and you mimic their body movements because their body movements lead to the successful goal. This is no different. You mimic it until eventually that is how you know what to do. I think it was, David Beckham, the legendary football player, soccer player, depending on how you want to define it. They said Beckham practiced like kicks for hours, so much that when he got ready to kick a field goal, like they just knew it was going in because he practiced this thing constantly until he became so good that he could not miss. And it's just practice the strong habits of an alpha male, and eventually they become yours. You don't have to be out there as an alpha. You don't have to be the loudest person. You don't have to be, the super leader and etc. Hey, Superman's on the Justice League, but sometimes he lays back and lets Batman take over, or Aquaman or Flash or whoever. Yes, I've read comic books. Everybody get over it. Don't be a beta, but be a quiet alpha. Be a fallback alpha. But let me know how you feel about this. Let me know if you think betas are good things, or if you agree, or if you're like, Jack, you're full of shit, or if you're like, Jack, you come down from the mountaintop every Friday at 5:01 p.m. Central Time on Game On with Jack. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next week. Sexy people, good people, game on.